It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Well, I hope you had a fabulous week, everybody. I have a lot of rocks to show you. But before we get into the rocks, I just wanted to say this past week I put a community poll up on the community tab here on the channel, and I was blown away by some of the things that people decided to share as comments. You know, I haven't been doing this my whole life, and I find it to me it's impressive, okay, when people tell me these stories of, oh, they've been into rock hounding since they were a little kid. You know, it was very kind of everyone to leave such nice messages for me to read, you know. It gives me insight into, I guess, like the background of the people here, which is really, really quite lovely, actually. If you haven't gone and checked it out, I would highly suggest you maybe go give that a look. You can just go to the main channel page, click the community tab, and it's like right there. Pretty interesting read. Well, somebody left a comment about the rocks that are sitting right over there, typically on the bench. So let's just start it off by showing these. So here, this is a lovely piece of Jasper. Now these rocks were given to me. Everything that you see in the background here, these were all gifts. I have two pieces of Jasper that were given to me a while ago when my buddy Stan, he lives down in southern Utah. He drove up here, he was visiting some family, and we did a little bit of rock swapping, and he gave me a couple of nice pieces of Jasper. And he also gave me this. This rock's quite cool. Now, I really like this. I've yet to do something with it. That needs to happen. But what we have here is a nice big chunk of Chalcedony. Right? Yeah, it's certainly... I look at it, I'm like, well, how should I cut this exactly? You know, like, I don't know. Do I just try to create a specimen and like chop an end off, do the window thing? Because that's kind of my preference, right? Like, I kind of prefer having a nice window into a rock. A good example of that is this past week, I put up the carpet wheel video. So if you haven't checked it out, I think it's pretty good. It was kind of, for me, I'm not nervous ever to put up a video, you know. I figure it is what it is. This is kind of my experience here, you know. But when it comes to lapidary, a lot of people have very serious, how do people play here? Very serious opinions about what makes a good machine, quote unquote, good machine, right? So sharing kind of my own DIY plans, I feel like it's like putting myself out there a little bit, you know, which, you know, is what it is. But everybody had mostly nice things to say about it. I think it's a good design, and well, the other rock from Stan was the one that I used as an example in that video, as far as something that I polished and buffed out on the carpet wheel. You can see those little defects. Now, this is, okay, since I got you here and we're looking at this, right? Those little pits, I've kind of started to experiment with different products for filling pits in rocks. And I haven't been super happy with what I've been coming up with, but I would love it if you know, this is beautiful, all right? Like, this is a great, you know, polished specimen. If I could have something and fill, let's see, come on, let's go here. Yeah, there we go. You can see those little pits in that surface. If I could fill those and get like an optically clear shine to it, that would be swell. So yeah, all four of those are from Stan, and that's, yeah, I still got those three over there that I need to cut and do something with. I'll likely do cut and polished windows because that's my style. That's what I enjoy, you know. The combo, right? The combination of the Richardson's high-speed sander and the carpet wheel, I am so happy with that combination, you know? I want to be able to do big things, right? Like I want to be able to take like a big slab, right? And either put some kind of polish on it. Like in this case, I actually didn't take it up to a gloss shine for very good reason. So this is red marble with magnesite crystals in it. Now I've been experimenting with polishing up this stuff, and you can put a beautiful, beautiful glossy wet polish on this material. But when you do it, you kind of lose some of that magnesite definition, and it does kind of want to undercut a little bit. So like over here, you can really see the magnesite. I don't know. I kind of prefer it being in a matte finish, but this is just kind of like a big, chunky slab end cut piece. You know, not everything has to be super high gloss wet polish. I think it can be, but there's certainly instances where I think a character of a stone should dictate what you do with it and not anything else. I did have a couple of other things given to me this past week, which it's always fun to be able to put my eyes on stuff. Unfortunately, so in the last week's Saturday night special, I said that I'm getting an adapter for my microscope to be able to put the DSLR camera on the microscope. And while the U.S. Postal System swallowed my adapter and it's nowhere to be found, so I'm waiting for another one of those. So I didn't manage to take any new photos to share with you. So hopefully this, fingers crossed, this coming week I can get that because I have some very fun things to share. So my buddy Curtis. Now Curtis, if you're an astute observer of the channel here, he's been in several of the videos. You might remember him. He went out to the China Hollow mine for the picture Jasper. And yeah, Curtis is a good guy. He was at the Rock Rollers tailgate sales event. Well, I was hanging out with Curtis this past weekend. Man, you know, it sure is fun, right? It sure is fun to be able to go over to somebody else's like house shop setup and see what they have cooking. And he has a lot of stuff. Well, he gave me something, which is quite interesting. So he gave me this rock, and it's a little fragile. So this is quartz screens that have been, I guess you would say they're remobilized. So that is actually like little tiny grains of quartz, like almost like quartz sand in this formation, which I think this could look quite cool under the microscope. But, you know, I do have my old microscope camera, but it, you know, like I want to use my new one. I want to use the new one. So very cool to be able to take some photos of that in the future. That's not really anything that I have any experience with, being that it's from Iowa. A viewer here on the channel sent in a lovely package of rocks from, well, I think they're mostly from the Arkansas area. Now, not something I know a whole lot about. I mean, you know, when it comes to rocks, minerals, geology, it's a challenge just to learn your immediate area. So, you know, I'm very lucky in that I get to have all of this more exotic material to be able to look at, you know. So he sent a couple of fossils, right? And I'll probably read some of his notes here. Now, full disclosure, okay, here's the thing. I like fossils. I think fossils are very cool. But I need some context. You know, especially with the plant fossils, right? Like plant fossils, sea life, those types of things. Context is everything. Like if I see like a weird sea grass, like a petrified, I guess you wouldn't say petrified, fossilized piece of grass that was matted down at the bottom of the ocean, it's cool when I can like see like an artist's rendering of what it was. So these fossils, I'm going to not be able to pronounce it. I will put it right here. Which, I mean, they certainly look cool. I will have to do a little bit more research on these as far as what they are, but I guess they can take a polish, which that's cool, very cool. Some rocks. So he sent me something that will end up under the microscope. Look at that. So he thinks. So he said that he got a couple pieces of these in the 90s. And it said that it's possibly a zeolite, which is, sure, I mean, it's from Michigan. Certainly could be a zeolite. Only one way to really, really find out, and that is to put it under the microscope. So that'll be happening this coming week. And he sent a couple of other rocks that have these little vugs, some type of crystallization in there. Which that's, you know, gotta be able to put them under the microscope. Very cool stuff. I mean, as with many things that we look at under the microscope, you know, they can be somewhat unimpressive to the naked eye, but very impressive up close. Still pretty neat. Now, he sent some stuff that I have. Has not even been in like my peripheral vision as far as a rock goes, but we have this, and it has all these little crystals all throughout it. Those little spots there, all little crystals, which is quite neat to see. Now, all of these are of the same thing, lanonite. I might be mispronouncing that. But another thing where it's some very, very small beauty in here. I think this is that'll look great under the microscope. Well, he didn't just send some stuff with little crystals. He sent some stuff with some quite big crystals. And, I mean, I will say, he sent a nice letter, but he also sent an advanced mining permit, which, it's kind of neat. Like, I've never been out there. I know it's quite the popular dig, but he sent some beautiful quartz crystals. I'm going to drop that with gloves on. He sent some beautiful quartz crystals. It is certainly a place that I think would be quite lovely to go out and dig at. We don't really, I mean, we do have quartz crystals here. We don't really have anything that exactly would match this, but still, quite cool. Quite cool. Well, there's one big one left here. Look at that whopper. He sent that thing. I do have some fun videos kind of stewing in the back of my mind that require some quartz crystals. So it's nice to be able to have something like that. We're finally mid-melt for the weather out here, which is lovely. Absolutely lovely. Took a little, had to get away from the house, get away from the shop, all that stuff. Good warm weather. Went out to Palouse Falls, which is excellent. If you haven't seen Palouse Falls before, it is one of the most beautiful waterfalls, and it's right out here in eastern Washington. So we stopped off there on our way to do a little bit of rockhounding. Those videos are to come in the future, though. This coming week, zeolite hunting. Jazz hands. No, Oregon. We're heading down to Oregon. We're going to be doing some zeolite hunting, a couple of different locations. I think it's an excellent video. Stay tuned for that. That's coming out Wednesday. Stop by the website, currently rockhounding.com. There's lots of awesome articles and all kinds of great content up there, all for free, ad-free, all of that stuff. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being a supporter here on the channel, hanging out with me in the shop. And I think with that said, we're going to call this one a wraps. All right. Well, I hope you have an excellent weekend, and I will catch you on the next video.